My dear brothers and sisters, it is quite clear from the response of Jesus to the question of the scholar of the law, as we heard in our gospel today, that the greatest commandment is love. To love God above all else, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. Love is the greatest commandment. But my dear brothers and sisters, we might ask, but what is love? How is it to love? How do we love? How do we love God? How do we love our neighbor? Many say that one of the best expressions of love is presence, because love always longs for presence. No wonder why we always long to be with the people we love. We always find time for people who are dear to us. And even if we do not have time, we will make time just to be with them. People who love want to be with the people who are dear to them. People who love will always be available for the important people in their lives. That is why when somebody tells you, I love you, but always find excuses not to be with you. If a person tells you, I love you, but would always say, I'm sorry I could not be with you because I am busy, you need to question if that person really loves you. Mahal ka, pero wala namang panahon para sa'yo. Mahal ka, pero wala namang oras na ibinibigay sa iyo. Because to say I love you also means I am here for you. I am available for you. I will always find time for you. We see a beautiful example of love as presence in our first reading today. In our first reading, we heard the beautiful story of Ruth and his mother-in-law, Naomi. Both Ruth and Naomi were widows. But because Ruth was still young, Naomi told her daughter-in-law, you better go back to your people. Probably you could still remarry. Ruth was a foreigner, a Moabite. And so there was really reason for her to leave Naomi, return to her people, and start a new life. But Ruth decided to stay with Naomi, her mother-in-law. Quite an unusual story. Hindi tayo madalas makakarinig ng ganitong relasyon ng magbiyanan. And Ruth even said to Naomi, wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. This is love expressed in presence. We also see another example of this in Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, whose memorial we celebrate today. Saint Bernard loved God so much that he dedicated his whole self to God. At the early age of 20 years old, he entered a Cistercian monastery. He loved the church so much that he was always available. He was always at the service of the church. Saint Bernard was an advisor of the popes. He was a defender of the faith. He was a reformer of a monastic order. He was a biblical scholar, a theologian, an eloquent preacher. Saint Bernard also loved his neighbor so much that he attracted many to follow the Lord. In fact, 2 of his uncles and 5 of his brothers joined the monastery with him, and 2 of his sisters became Benedictine nuns, a whole family of religious. There is a book written about Bernard's family, and the title of the book is The Family That Conquered Heaven. You see what the love for God can do. My dear brothers and sisters, love is presence. If we say we love God, do we have time for God? Do we give time to God? If we say we love our family, do we spend time with them? Love is presence. May we always show our love to others by our presence and availability for them. And this is also the reason why God is love. God is love because He is always present. This is how God shows His love for us, by being always present to us. Isn't it that God promised, I will be with you always until the end of time? That is God assuring us of His perpetual presence. That is God telling us, I love you. I am here always for you.